Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the next weekly Love Where You Are update. Hope you're having a great week so far. I wanted to come back to you with a few more stories of how God is working in Southern Indiana and in our community. So I hope you'll take just a second to check out this story here in a few minutes. But before you do that, this is the last chance to share your feedback with us. Below in this email, there's a link to the survey I've been telling you about over the last couple weeks. If you haven't done it yet, take less than 5 minutes. Fill it out, share as much information with us as you can, and help shape Love Where You Are going forward. We value your feedback. Well, I normally wouldn't do this, but wanted to share a video with you, an update with you from some friends of mine, Jason and Bliss Ketterer, who are actually part of our Love Where You Are group. They have an incredible story of how God opened up an opportunity to serve one of their friends, so take a few minutes to check it out.
Hello, this is Jason and Bliss Ketterer. We're members of Adam and Ashley's Love Where You Are group in Sellersburg. As you know, we've been talking about service opportunities for people, and we just kind of wanted to share what we did within our Love Where You Are group. Last fall, we had a friend pass away from cancer, leaving behind his wife and their newborn baby. She had been going through a really hard time now, and her baby is approximately 6 months old, and a couple weeks ago she had just found out that her mother had been diagnosed with cancer as well. So we've been praying for them constantly, and whenever we had the opportunity come up to serve them with having the resources and the people to kind of get together and figure out something nice to do for her, we kind of reached out to her. And I am not very good with words, as you can see, and
so I'll take over.
Yeah.
So we wrote up an email, sent it her way, just hoping and praying that we typed the right words to make her receptive to our offer. Just sharing that we are a group that just wants to love people, care for people. We don't want anything in return. It's not charity or anything. We just want to share love. And the next day, she sent Jason a text back and said, you know, it's really hard to admit when you need help, but she needed some help. And our communication with her was really timely because she was starting to question some things about faith, and just our reaching out was making her rethink things. So what she wanted help with was just like things around the house, things that are really basic, specifically just like a really good scrub down of her house and getting her dog to the groomer. Not hard things to do at all, but it would make a tremendous difference in her life. So Jason took the dog to the groomer, I think the very next day after she texted him that. And then this past Saturday, a few gals from our group met with Jason at Kristen's house, and it just took a few hours, but they scrubbed the whole place down, made it really nice and neat. We put some food in her fridge and a bouquet of flowers on the table, and when she got home later that night, she saw how clean her house was and the goodies that were there waiting for her, and it just kind of blew her away. Like, she couldn't believe that strangers would come to her house and just take such good care of her. And so she's really grateful for us, and we're really grateful for her that we get to share God's love with her. And just we're hoping that we can make this a regular thing, so that we can just stay in contact with her, touch base, just check up on her every now and then. And it's something that really makes a difference in her life, and it is not hard for us to do at all.
Yeah, they're just ordinary things we did for people, for someone who was in an extraordinary situation, and it was just really cool to see God's timing work in that situation. So yeah, that's our story and how we served, and that's how we loved where we were. So I hand it back over to Adam. Thanks.
Man, isn't God awesome? One of the things I love about that story is that in our group, we had just finished having been challenged by Kyle to think who rather than what. To think about who we could serve rather than what we do to serve. And Jason and Bliss mentioned their friend right away and said, man, let's just start praying for opportunities to see if maybe we could step into her life and serve. God opened up that door. He orchestrated the details in the conversations. And in fact, it was an answer to the prayers she had been praying. I don't know if you caught this, but she mentioned she's really been struggling in her faith lately and wondered if God had heard. And that answer was through Jason and Bliss opening up the opportunity for our group to go love and serve her. Here's why we do that. The gospel is the greatest story ever told. The life, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus, it simply changes everything. And so we get to jump into people's lives and love where we are, to build relationships with them, to allow them to see the gospel lived out. And I want to challenge you, group leaders. Who are you praying for right now? Who is it in your life that you want to see the gospel? Easter's coming up almost less than a month away. And as a church, we really want to empower you to invite your friends, your family, your co-workers, people you come in contact with on a regular basis, to come experience the gospel message this Easter. So start praying now. Start up a conversation as God gives the timing, and make the invitation. It never hurts to ask. You don't know what's going to happen unless you give God the opportunity to step in and do his thing in somebody's life. Well, that's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed this update. We'll be back with you next week with some details about what's coming up this spring for LWYA groups. Talk to you soon.